Hi, this is Christina from Thorny Cactus. This is my first video, so bear with me. I would love your feedback. If there is anything I need to change, do differently, if you guys have ideas, inspire me because that's how I'm gonna learn, and I wanna do this to be able to help people if I can, share my collection, share my passion for indoor gardening. Yeah, and I think I want to start this video off with just kind of telling you guys a little bit about myself. And so you kind of know who you're listening to. But yeah, and then I think I want to show you my Huperzia collection. I think that's how you say it. I've got 5. They've been a little bit tricky just because there's not a lot of info online. And I really, when I researched how to care for them, there wasn't a lot out there. So I want to be able to help people, and maybe you guys can give me some ideas because mine aren't all perfect. So yeah, but before we get into the Huperzias, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. So I moved to Calgary, Alberta about 4 years ago. That's where I live now. But before that, I was born and raised in Victoria, Vancouver Island, and that was my home. So I think I kind of got into gardening probably in my early 20s, and I'm like 46 now. So I've been growing plants for a long time. So I've had a lot of experience. But yeah, I started off with vegetable gardening, perennials, annuals, all of that stuff. Had a beautiful garden outdoors. I think it was kind of my mom that got me inspired into gardening. But yeah, because she had a beautiful outdoor garden. And yeah, so I think one of my first plants that really got me going was a succulent. I went somewhere with my mom and there was a bunch of unique plants, and I fell in love with the succulent, and it's just, it never stopped. It never stopped. But yeah, back home, it was amazing because we had a very long growing season. So I did the vegetable gardens, I did the perennials, the annuals, I loved it all. And then I got a greenhouse, filled it full of rare and unusual succulent cacti, and citrus trees. I loved citrus trees. So that was one of my really big things. I think I had like 35 varieties of citrus trees. Incredible. So much fun to grow, and then getting to eat the fruit. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, that's kind of where it all started for me. And then about 4 years ago, I moved here. So I gave up everything back home pretty much. I think I only brought a few plants with me, which I still actually have, and sold a lot too, but definitely still have a few of the ones from back home. So that's kind of fun. But I realized that the growing season is much shorter here, so I didn't do a lot of outdoor, or haven't done a lot of outdoor gardening yet, unfortunately, but I would like to still do that. I think we haven't quite been settled in long enough yet. Still trying to find our, pace here in a completely different home. Yeah, it's incredible here though. I love it. It's definitely home now. But yeah, I've basically just more or less turned my house into a greenhouse. So yeah, but I want to be able to just help people and share my collection if I can. So that's what I'm doing here. But yeah, so let's start off with the Huperzia. And I don't say the names very well, so bear with me. I will do my best, and then I will just put the names up on the TV. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna put my glasses on because I can't see without them. So I'm gonna show you my first one, and now this one is Huperzia, I think it's Fiji. So this is my first beautiful one. I think I've had these for probably around 6 months, I think. So you can see all the new growth on the tips there. Such a fun, unique, kind of crazy looking plant. Now it looks like it's in a self-watering pot, but it's actually not. I have it in a clear pot clear plastic pot in there. I think I was just planning on transplanting it into this pot soon. That's why it's in here. But I actually have it in my own mix that I make. So we can go over that another time. But yeah, I basically just make my own mix for a lot of my plants. Just find it much easier. So, and then for care on this one, I've got this one in my bathroom. It is a south facing window, but it doesn't get any direct sun on the plant because it's quite far back in the room, but it does get a lot of humidity because it's in the bathroom. And basically with watering these, I've noticed I do like to dry them out a bit. Not bone dry, but I definitely like to dry them out a little bit. I find that they're quite easy to rot. I actually killed one already from overwatering because I guess just by the looking at these plants, like I feel like they look like they need a lot of water, and the leaves are quite thin and they're so mossy looking. So I always think like that they need all this moisture, but like I said, I killed one by overwatering it. So I've had these for about 6 months now, I think. And I think I've kind of starting to figure them out pretty good. And yeah, I pretty much almost let them go bone dry. And then I give them a really good drink. Do not let them sit in standing water. But yeah, that's the first one. Beautiful plant, love it. And so the second one I have here is quite a bit smaller, but very, very fun and unique. She's quite a cute plant. She's got a couple brown tips there. I think she was touching the grow light. I had this plant hanging down over one of my glass cabinets, all the nice new growth in there. Had this one hanging down over my glass cabinet, and there's a lot of grow lights in there, and I think those tips got burnt. But ever since I burnt them, even though I cut them off, they just keep continuing to die. So I'm not really sure. I'm hoping that that's not rot in the roots, but she seems to be healthy otherwise, so I'm not going to take her out. I have this one growing in moss, perlite, and at the bottom is just the leca, because I like to put leca in the bottom of all my plants. So this one is Huperzia Tetrasticha? I'm not sure, but love it. Like super unique, very fun little plant. And same thing, I pretty much almost let it go completely dry before I water it again. And yeah, I do have the reservoir, so I fill it so that there's a little bit of water sitting in the bottom, and then I let it soak it up. And then I do not water this till the media is getting not 100% dry, but definitely drying out a bit. So that's how I've been growing them. If you guys are doing any better, please let me know, because I don't want to lose these plants. Absolutely love them. I think they're super unique and fun. Let's start with this one. Ooh. So this one's growing really, really well. I definitely have found that this is my easiest one. This one is the Huperzia Nangklay, I think. So yeah, and she is in tree fern fiber, perlite, and of course the leca balls at the bottom. And I do the same with watering for this one. Let them dry out, pretty much not completely dry, but almost, before I water it again. This one is getting quite a bit of new growth in the top there. It's got some nice new growth. A little bit of dry up at the top there. May have let it dry out too much, but like I said, they rot really easy, and I'd prefer it not to rot. So yes, gorgeous plant. Absolutely love it. And this one is in east window, maybe gets a little bit of morning sun, and that's about it. So there's that one. Oh, I'll try and get it over there without dropping it. And then, so for my last one, I think, no, second to last, sorry. I think this is probably my second favorite. I really like the growth on this. It's quite funky and fun. It's kind of a, so it's got this piece on top here, then the rest are all hanging down. I think as this gets heavier, it will probably hang down, but the branches are quite stiff. So, but it's so fun. It kind of feels like a bottle brush. Yeah, it's so weird. But this one, I water it the same as the rest. I pretty much do the same exact thing. This one's called Huperzia Squarrosa. Tree fern fiber, perlite, and leca on the bottom. So yeah, super fun. This one, I think it gets quite a bit of light. It's on top of my IKEA grow cabinet, and then I have got another IKEA cabinet right beside it, and they're full of grow lights. So there is a ton of light blasting out those cabinets, and this sits on top, and so it's hanging down, getting quite a bit of light. It doesn't get any light from outdoors. I think it's an east window, but there's not much for light coming in because it's quite a ways back. But like I said, it gets a ton of light from the IKEA cabinets, and it seems to be quite happy. So yeah, that's her. So fun. I just love it. And for my absolute favorite and the most difficult, for sure, and this one is Huperzia Nummulariifolia. I don't know, you guys. Anyways, you can laugh at me. I'm terrible with the names. You'll figure that out. But anyways, this one is so fun. I just love it. It's so delicate and just, it's elegant. It's just such a gorgeous plant. I don't even know how to explain how it feels, but it doesn't feel real. It's so crazy, but I haven't had the easiest time with this one. Let me sit back a bit. You can see it. I haven't had the easiest time with this one. The first one I overwatered, and definitely it rotted. All the top branches came right out of the soil, just right away. I cut it all up, basically put all of it in little moss containers, put them in my cabinet, and have been trying to root them. Some of them are rooting, but a lot of them rot. And the few that are starting to root, it's taken a long time to get it to that. They've been in there for months. So I'm hoping that I can get some more, just because I do love this plant so much. Yeah, it's stunning. So this is actually my second one. And when I got it, it was much fuller. I think my mom was visiting and opened the cupboard, and a plastic cup fell on top and hit the top of it, and all the branches just broke and fell off. So I was like, seriously? So I cut it all up again, put them in prop boxes, and put them in my cabinet, because I was like, I'm not giving up. I'll just keep trying. So there's so many of them, but this one, 2 branches. That's it. 2 that's left in here. And I think it probably had like 15 branches. So you can imagine I have like an IKEA cabinet full of prop boxes full of this plant. So at one point, at one time, I can finally fill this in, and hopefully it will be a much bushier, beautiful plant. This one is in tree fern fiber again, with perlite and leca at the bottom. I find that they seem to be doing the best in that. There's a little tiny volunteer fern in there, super cute. She can stay, I like it. But yeah, gorgeous plant, absolutely love this. I would love to have this all over my house. So cross your fingers. But if anybody has any info on that one, please let me know. I really researched, and there's just so much different information out there. And I think a lot of the places where people were growing it were in, you know, warm, humid environments, and they could actually grow them outdoors. And I haven't found a lot of information on growing them indoors. So I did put this one in my cabinet with the most humidity. It's like 80 to 90% humidity in there, and it still barely does anything. It hasn't grown a lot, but it hasn't died. So yeah, if anybody has any info, please pass it on. But hopefully you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe, thumbs up. If you have ideas on videos, let me know. I will try and put out at least 2 videos a week for now, and because I have a lot of plans to show. Anyways, nice to meet everyone. Hope you liked it. See you soon.